I'm going to show you how to do a clamshell exercise, but we're going to focus on having the hips in extension. So what does that mean? Hips in extension from a side view, if you kind of look at the angle of my hip right now, is because there is quite a bit of a bend. My hip is in flexion. Flexion just means that the hip is starting to bend towards that 90-degree angle. So if I were to extend my right hip, it just means that I'm actually getting into a straighter position, okay? So when we do our clamshell, you're going to start off in the side lying position with maybe your arms supporting your head. And here my hips are in a little bit of flexion, and that is okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my feet and my knees just slightly behind me. So if I'm looking down my body, I should see that I can see the top of my thigh, and there's just a very small bend in that hip. Okay, so we want to try to keep the feet stacked. They don't have to touch, but we want to try to keep them at least stacked and relatively close to each other so that we really focus on hip rotation of that top leg. So when we're in this position, we do want to think about engaging the core. We're going to get a little bit of a lift of our waist on the bottom. So it's going to feel like I'm doing a little bit of like a little side crunch on my left side so that my pelvis is level. When we lay on our side, our pelvis will tend to tilt towards the ground. So we're going to get a little bit of that tilt correction by engaging our core, getting a little bit of a lift at the waist. So to help balance, you can place your hand on the floor or mat, and that will also help prevent you from rocking around too much. So when we do our clamshells with hip and extension, we just want to make sure that our hip is in a relatively straight position compared to our traditional where it's really bent, and core engaged, and we're going to rotate up. You want to try to go as high as you can go. We're going to hold 3, 2, 1 and control it back down. The goal is just to try to go just slow enough where you know how high you can get to without rotating and dropping the pelvis backwards. And so that's our clamshell with the hips closer into extension. You're going to feel it kind of right in that back glute.